61st Annual Puerto Rican Day Parade on 5th Avenue, where millions of Puerto Ricans have gathered to celebrate Puerto Rican culture, but also not forgetting Hurricane Maria and the lives lost on that day.
Many political officials, such as Governor Cuomo, Mayor Bill de Blasio, and Councilwoman Melissa Mark-Viverito, among many more, walked in support of Puerto Rico and advocated in behalf of the island's residents, pushing for more support of the island's financial needs.
We're here with a group from Puerto Rico. It's calling for an audit of the debt. If we want to talk about the long-term recovery of Puerto Rico, then we need to talk about debt forgiveness. So there's a group in Puerto Rico that wants to audit the debt because there is the understanding that a lot of the debt that has been incurred is illegal and it goes against the Constitution of Puerto Rico. We need to rebuild. We need Puerto Rico to be sustainable. We need to be thinking about the long-term recovery of the island, and we can't do that if we're closing schools down. We can't do that if we're cutting essential services. We can't do that if there's a mass exodus happening and the doctors are leaving the island. So when we talk about the debt, all the austerity measures that are being put in place in Puerto Rico in order to pay that debt is something that we cannot stand. So that's why we're here with this group, is to really call for an accounting, a public accountability of that debt.
Public figures of New York participated in the parade by marching with a message geared towards President Donald Trump and his lack of effort towards the rebuilding of the island.
Today has special meaning because we got a job that we got to finish in Puerto Rico. You know, my stepfather, Carlos Cuevas from the Bronx, my mother, they are in Puerto Rico almost most of the year. And the devastation and the disrespect for the Puerto Rican people from this president is unparalleled in our nation's history. We need to bring resources, and we need to ensure that the rebuilding of Puerto Rico is put ahead of anything infrastructure that we have to do in this country. These are our people, American citizens, that are languishing in the most dangerous conditions. How terrible it is that our federal government has allowed this to happen. So today, we're marching also to remind people of the strength of Puerto Ricans in New York and around the country.
The death toll of Hurricane Maria rose significantly than the original figure given of around 64 and is now said to be around 5,000 deaths. Many of the deaths were caused by several factors since the hurricane, such as interruption of health care, lack of electricity and utility services after the hurricane decimated the island. Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. marched along with other elected officials in honor of the risen death toll and was adamant that the tone of this year's Puerto Rican Day Parade was unlike other previous years.
Different this year. This year we're protesting. We're protesting the fact that the federal government has totally failed our family members. There are 4,645 lives and counting that we've lost. So here we are. We're telling people, showing them the number of the lives that we lost, and we're telling people to incorporate the 3 R's if we want respect. Remember, register, and resist.
Not only did political figures show support, but so did celebrities and millions of Puerto Ricans who attended the parade in great spirits.
It's an honor. It's an honor. I never got the chance to be here while I was playing. Now that I'm able to retire and be here, it's an honor. This is for Puerto Rico.
I feel so much pride, especially in this America right now. We need this. Puerto Rico needs this. We're going to rise up. We're going to be proud.
Another large corporation to take part in the parade was JetBlue Airways. Since Hurricane Maria, JetBlue Airways launched a Puerto Rican relief campaign, which included volunteer deployment, rebuilding efforts, among transporting supplies to the island to aid in relief efforts.
I think it's such a different experience walking the parade than actually watching it from the sidelines. And for me personally, it was an emotional time participating in the parade, since JetBlue did a lot for Puerto Rico post Hurricane Maria, and it's surreal. It really is surreal.
This year's Puerto Rican Day Parade proved to be energetic and patriotic, but most importantly, stronger and more hopeful for what's to come for Puerto Rico.
And I'm Garcia reporting at the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and we'll see you next year.